Hello and welcome to a special edition of Culture on I-24 News. Today our show is devoted to Dani Karavan, one of Israel's most well-known and respected artists who create environmental sculptures and monuments in major public spaces both in Israel and around the world. Recently, Karavan received the title of Knight of the National Order of the Legion of Honor from the President of France, a country in which he is very active. Among his famous works are the Way of Human Rights in Nuremberg, the Tolerance Square in Paris, and the Wall of the Israeli Parliament, the Knesset. Very happy to welcome Dani Karavan to our studio. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's go back in time a little bit. You started your work as an environmental sculptor very early on.
No, I started as a painter.
Okay.
I want to be a painter.
You started as a scenery designer.
No, before I started.
Even before that.
Yes, I started as a painter. I studied painting here in Israel with good teachers, and then I went to Florence to study fresco because I was a member of kibbutz. It was founded in the ceasefire of the independent war to keep the way to Jerusalem. And then after, I decided to go to Florence to study fresco because I wanted to work in public places, not to make kind. And that brought me to change and to be a sculptor.
I see.
Because fresco is not possible to do it today, as it was done in the past. And then I did bas-reliefs, and from bas-reliefs I went to sculpture. And I became a sculptor, and I create one of the first creation of environment sculpture in the desert, the Negev monument for the Pelamak Negev Brigade.
Right, and you were pretty young at the time to make such a monumental sculpture.
I was very young, and I think that it was always, all my work is committed suicide. Because if it's not good, what you will do with this monument?
Good point.
You cannot destroy it. You can destroy it, but it's impossible. You understand?
But then it's a whole other monument.
Then you have to run away from the place that you did it, and never come back with your family, because it's a big shame.
Yeah.
And the wall in the Knesset, you can imagine if it will be a failure. So you go on that in the beginning, and you believe you can do it, but then you started to have doubts.
But as a young man, where do you draw that confidence? How do you even get the job?
It always came for a combination of people who met me and know the way I'm working, because in that case, nobody knew that I can make it. They knew that I make all the bas-reliefs in the Palais de Justice, in the courthouse of Tel Aviv, and also a little square, which was a garden, a square. It was a sculpture. It was environment sculpture. This is the first one that I did. And the man that I worked with him, he was involved with the Negev Brigade, and he said, this is the guy that can do the work. I rely on him. When he decides to do something, he will realize it. That was very important. Because you can have beautiful ideas, and you don't have the possibility and ability to do from that something in reality.
Right. Now, when you approach making a memorial monument, how do you approach it? Is it
I'll tell you, first of all, I don't have, from the beginning, from this commission and for commission in the courthouse, commission in the Knesset, it was all in the same time quite in the Weizmann Institute. I'm coming to the side. I'm not talking about bas-relief. Bas-relief is something else.
Right.
But bas-relief also is the side, because Knesset is not a hall for dancing or for chasanes.
Oh, no.
Yes? So this is the place, so you have to think what you are doing there.
Right.
I'm not going to details because we don't have time for that, but I started to work when I have a commission. If I don't have a commission, I'm reading books, I'm enjoying life, but the moment I have a commission, I'm going to the side.
Yeah, I'm going to guess you don't have much time to read books, because you constantly are making these pieces. And I want to talk about the piece at the Knesset.
Okay, so I will go with you.
That has been the background of some major events.
Yeah.
And back in 2010, not so long ago, you asked the people at the Knesset to cover your work.
Yeah.
Can you go back to that event?
First of all, I was very young, and I think this was absolutely people couldn't understand.
You were young when you made it.
Yes, yes, and I made it in time that Israel was created most, and the Declaration of Independence was something very, very important.
Right.
And this is, it's quite similar to the Declaration of Human Rights.
I see, and you feel that
Yes.
has changed over the years.
Exactly. So I did it for this society, for this declaration, and this
Right.
declaration losing and losing and losing the value, and other laws comes to cover all the beauty and the ethic and the Jewish spirit
Right.
which was in the declaration.
I see.
Therefore,
and in 2010, that peaked in a way.
See, then I said, okay, I don't know. As this wall, in my opinion, cannot listen to this kind of speeches.
Yeah. What took place at the time was that
I had a terrible dream that Herzl came to me and said, "Take me off from this wall. I cannot listen to the things. But this was not my dream."
Wow.
Yes.
That's quite powerful. What took place at the time was that there were discussions about a law to create admission committees for
No, I don't remember exactly what was, but you know, it's not important this or not, because it goes on and on and on and on and on. Each week, each month, you have a new kind of people in the Knesset, members, who try to change the spirit of the creation of this country. That's all. And I'll tell you, and the new president elected, yeah?
Yeah.
He pushed me. He pushed me to sign my name. I didn't want to sign my name on this wall. I don't go to this detail. It was a reason.
Right.
I don't sign my name on my walls.
Okay.
But in any case, he said you have to sign because we are now here, and tomorrow people will forget. So I said, okay, we'll put something on the side. And he said, no, it has to be graved in the stone. They will put it away if you put it on the side. And I said, okay, this is a good occasion. Then it will be in Hebrew and Arab.
Right.
In Arabic, because this is the language in which I am afraid that one day it will not be anymore the two languages.
Yeah.
It will remain only Hebrew.
Yeah.
Therefore, it was important for me to sign. And the name is also Se'i Shalom Yerushalayim. I don't know how to translate exactly. But it's not a quoting of the Bible precise.
Right. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, I guess, would...
Maybe not only pray, but something that you have to...
carry
up peace. In Jerusalem, carry up peace. Yes, okay.
Yeah. Now, you've been very outspoken in the past and at the present about your view of the political arena, and the peace process as well has been suffering in the last few years, and you deal with it quite a lot. There's a lot of the word peace appears in many of your works. What do you think about the place that we're at the moment?
No, I tell you, I will prefer to talk about art.
Okay.
Because I think we have a lot of politics.
I think the two are connected, though. Do you think that
exactly.
artists in Israel...
No, you're right. But I would like to continue to say, to explain how I create my work.
Please.
It means, this is when I am coming to the side. And I think the work exists in the side. With the nature elements and with the memory. So I think the side is guiding me to do my work. And I have even examples how things have been changed because the side said this is impossible.
I see.
Or cannot be this material or these forms. And how each work is going together, and the work is covering things that I didn't know before. And then people said, this and this and this. I will not go to details, but this is...
So let's go into details a little bit later. For now, let's watch a short report by Charlotte Attal about the ceremony where you were recently honored by the French president, and we'll come back and speak a little more.
Okay.
Sculptor Dani Karavan was inducted into the Order of the Legion of Honor at the Embassy of France in Israel. The Israeli artist made a well-established career, in which he had often held a dialogue with France through his works. During his studies at the Académie de la Grande Chaumière in Paris, Karavan made sculptures from Sergi Pontoise to Gurs, in which he had paid tribute to former war prisoners. At the ceremony, Israel's president-elect Reuven Rivlin spoke of the major significance of Karavan's work.
I realized from the first moment I came to the Knesset, the great sculpture of Dani behind the podium of the Knesset, which really everyone all over the world knows it, but doesn't know that it was built and created and really formed by Dani Karavan.
Reuven Rivlin ended his speech and the ceremony on an emotional note, saying,
I will write down something that you meant. Instead of us for the peace of Jerusalem, us for peace in Jerusalem.
Politicians, admirers and journalists were present to see the artist receive one of the major awards of his career. By receiving the Legion of Honor, Dani Karavan now holds a total of 19 international awards for his work.
God bless you, Dani.
And we're back. You have actually your medal that you received. That's It's a very impressive award.
Yes, okay. I'm not going to hold it all the day.
You're not going to put it on?
Only on the pyjama. In the night, because I'm very modest. So I don't want to go it in the...
It's between you and the bed.
Exactly. But I think it's I'm very honored by that, really.
Yeah, and you've been there's a piece that you've been working on for 30 years, I think, in France.
34 years.
Wow. How do you manage to work on a piece for such a long time?
No, I'm not working all this time, because then it's because it's 3 kilometers. Maybe it's one of the biggest project that has been done in the 20th and 21st century as a kind of urbanistic sculpture. Mm-hmm. And this is also when I said, yes, I'm going to do it, it was a kind of a way of suiciding.
Did you know what you're getting yourself into?
No, but I didn't know. Absolutely I didn't know. It was supposed to be finished in 4, 5, 6 years maximum. Uh-huh. I went to Paris. I was obliged to go to Paris. This was not my program. And I went to Paris and with my family, and after 6 years, the family went back to Israel, and I made
You had to go back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth.
I see.
And now I can say that I was really lucky, because Paris and France is a marvelous place to be there, with culture, with museums, with music, opera, everything. And I'm disconnected with the political problems there. Mm-hmm. So my life is maybe much easier than for an artist.
I'm curious, what are the differences when you work on a piece in Israel and when you work abroad?
I'll tell you, in Israel, the feeling of suicide thing is much, much stronger, because everybody knows me. So I know that the moment if it will happen, it will be terrible. And always you have this kind of responsibility. You are using money of public money. Yeah. You understand? It's not my money. And
your work is commissioned.
It's commissioned, and I have a responsibility people can use it, and people can live in it, and love it. Yes, you cannot do something for people with their own money that they will hate it. Yeah. It's impossible. And how do you know to do something that people will not hate?
How do you know?
I don't know.
You asking me?
I don't know.
You seem to actually...
I don't know. Therefore, it's so interesting.
I see. It is interesting. I'm curious. Is there a work that you have in mind that you want to do that you haven't been commissioned yet? Some place, some site?
Only one that's finally going to be realized.
Oh, what's that?
This is in Ferrara.
Yeah.
It's from the book of Il Giardino di Finzi-Contini, The Garden of Finzi-Contini, by Bassani. Mm-hmm. And it's written, but the garden doesn't exist. So when it was a film by De Sica, many tourists came to see the garden, and I was there, and the garden. So I decided that I will propose a garden that doesn't exist.
Nice.
And now the mayor that was elected recently, he wants to do it, to realize it. But this is also 30 more, maybe it's 40 years that I'm carrying the idea. And so it comes up and goes down, come up. This is the only project which I wanted to do in Ferrara, which is a beautiful town.
Sounds wonderful. Do you have a favorite work of yours?
I have 3 daughters.
No doubt, a very splendid result, I'm sure. Let's talk a little bit about Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv, your father actually started...
Yes, my father arrived here with my mother in 1920.
Yeah.
They've been 18-year-old. They came from wealthy families, And they became to work there, and the White Square is dedicated to them in Tel Aviv. And my father became the gardener, and then he became the landscape gardener of Tel Aviv.
And you're carrying on his work in a way.
No, yes, exactly. But it's very funny because I didn't think that I will do it. I could study a lot from him. And one day I criticized him, and I said, why you are doing this kind of gardens, looks like nature, because he was influenced, because he was growing up in Manchester from the British style, English style of gardens. Why you are not doing something like in Persia and in Paris, kind of more decorative? He said, I have to bring here the landscape, but you will do it.
And you are doing it.